were talking about Salvia. So this is, I'm gonna say this is one of our number one plants, flowers for drawing in the pollinators out and the hummingbirds. There's a lot. There's a lot of flowers that will do that. I'm just gonna say this is, if I'm
You're going on record.
I'm just gonna say this is specifically this one, this blue one. That's gonna be the number one to draw in those pollinators and the hummingbirds. There's always activity on.
I would say equally all of them. I wouldn't call out just this one, but the Salvia in general.
Yeah.
How many of you plant your planters with the thought that you want to attract the butterflies, the hummingbirds, the bees?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many of you plant specifically for that?
Or maybe you didn't think about that, or it's just kind of a like, yeah, that would be really nice if I could have flowers in my yard that draw those in.
Right.
So this year we'll give you a few of those pointers, and this is not a comprehensive list. Just today we're going to be looking at Salvia, but there are a lot of flowers that will draw in those pollinators or those hummingbirds if you want them in your yard. So
do you plant for it? And if so, what do you plant that you feel draws in the most? And what are you trying to attract? So, I mean, there's a lot of questions there. So start commenting, hit the follow button, do all that good stuff. But what are you trying to attract? Are you trying to draw in the hummingbirds? Are you trying to draw in the butterflies? Most people don't want to draw in the deer, so.
Yeah, this is great for deer. Well, not necessarily. The Salvia, I can say that I've never had problem with them touching our Salvia in our yard. That's just merely my experience.
They've gone after other things first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, here, eat this over here and leave this stuff alone. But
let's
just
get
going
into
from experience.
Let's go into what is Salvia.
Okay, sure.
So Salvia is a beautiful plant. It's normally going to be very, tall and linear like this. Great for in the back of a container. Sorry, in the middle of a container.
Yeah.
Or if you have bedding Salvia, which is not this big, it's going to be more of the bedding style, and that could be maybe off to the side a little bit. It's normally not, you could plant it all by itself and it would look absolutely beautiful, or like a hedge of it. That looks really, really pretty. But it's normally not a focal flower. Like when you're planting a planter and you want something that, the first thing that draws their eye, it's normally not that. It's normally more of that tall, wispier type feel.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 7 different varieties in stock this year. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start out with showing you the Proven Winners one, because that's your favorite.
It is, and it's just by experience that we have this Rockin' Playin' the Blues from Proven Winners. This in our yard, there's always, 100% of the time, there's always something on it.
Bumblebees especially.
Yeah, the bees, the butterflies, the hummingbirds.
And it has a different look than the other Salvias.
Yeah, it's...
So do you want to show them?
Yeah,
even though leaves are a little bit different.
So most of the Salvia that we talk about kind of has this tubular, which the hummingbirds absolutely love. So you can see there's little pods along here, and this tubular flower starts popping out from that. This Rockin' Playin' the Blues just has a much different style of flower, and maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. I'm just saying that this Rockin' Playin' the Blues works if you want to draw them in. It just has
it's still tubular, but it's like a little short.
It's much smaller. It must have a fragrance to it.
I don't know.
But this is from Proven Winners. This is called Rockin' Playin' the Blues. That's just my number one go-to when you want to talk about bringing the butterflies in and the hummingbirds and the bees.
And this specific variety we get in, the rest of them are not part of the Proven Winners series, and we found them to be just as good, just as aggressive. But this particular one we kept because it was very unique. You can see the flower style there's a lot more flowers going on in it. It was just different.
Yeah.
But the rest of these are part of the Skyscraper series. And look at that. That's pink. That's a new one for us this year.
These are from Ball. It's a Ball seed. So this is the Plum Crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
this one's Plum Crazy. It's a little bit darker.
You can see
What
that.
color was that one?
This one's pink.
Pink. Okay.
Skyscraper
then
pink. And then Roman red.
Roman red. So
And again, you
lot
can
of
see that
salvia.
pink compared to the red.
I think of salvia, I think of red, because
Because of the smaller bedding salvia.
yeah, this is the
These are
Vista
just
Red.
starting to bloom.
These turn out really nice. We
They
found
do.
some really nice salvia in the bedding plant. Again, when we're talking bedding plant, we're talking where
Turn it so they can see that red color.
typically you have in the the packs. This doesn't get as big as this, obviously,
No,
but it
these
does
get-
get 10 to 12 inches tall.
Right, but you're talking 10 to 12 inches tall compared to 14 to 28.
Yeah, so those get. So you need your room and you need a high point. So go with the taller salvia if you want that. This is also the Vista Mix.
This one is, the proven winner is the 24 to 48.
And
So
it does. It gets
Make
really,
sure
really
you
tall.
check your tags.
This we plant in our cow troughs, and we put it towards the back, and we don't do anything. So I don't deadhead. I just leave it be, and again, there's
It's
always a
beautiful.
flurry of activity on it. This is some different colors in this salvia mix. This is the Vista Mix. This just performed. We used to do what, the firecracker?
No,
What was it?
I don't
It was
remember
a
the
red,
name.
but
we used to do a red one, and we Sizzler, Sizzler mix.
Okay, yeah, Sizzler.
And we came across the
This one's nice. This
Yes.
is the Vista Mix.
we came across the Vista mix because they didn't have it when we needed it at like a replacement style,
And it
and
ended
we
up being
came,
way better.
way better. Like,
It lasts a long,
and
long
it did
time.
get funky on the inside.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yep. So salvia is going to be. We'll talk a little bit about care. Salvia is going to be in sun. So are these all marked full sun? I don't want to guess. I just want to make sure. Full apart sun for the rock and play and the blues.
Full sun,
Full sun.
fold apart.
Full sun for the plum crazy. I'm gonna assume this
So
is gonna be
when
full
you
sun.
have a take that says full sun
Full
to
to
partial
partial.
sun, you're gonna want, it can tolerate some shade, but not
much.
all day
Right.
long shade.
It's going to need that 4 to 6 hours of
Right.
sunshine.
It's gonna need that afternoon sun, where if you have more of a shade to a partial shade, they can do more of the sun in the morning and then shade the rest of the time. This is gonna be opposite.
Yeah, and that's where we have ours, full blasting sun, no shade at all day long. So they get blasted, they do fantastic.
So full sun, you are going to want to keep them, watered well.
Mhm.
They do drink.
They drink
Because
pretty good,
they're
and you'll see
producing a
those.
lot.
They're a little dramatic when they go dry. You'll see those leaves will curl right down. Hey, they're screaming, I need some water.
Think of how much moisture they're putting in for all those hummingbirds to come and
Right.
get.
So, I don't do anything with the rock and play and the blues. I don't,
do.
You cut? So maybe that's why I don't need to. I never do. On this type of salvia,
I was just gonna say that on this I don't.
We just
tend
let
to.
it go.
I will crack it off every so often, just because if it's tearing off, I just take it right away. But can you show them how the expired, which still is beautiful?
Yeah.
These are expired. Like, this is where this bloom was, and then you can see if I take that out, it leaves that little shade.
pod, basically, yeah.
And they're very pretty, but every so often I'll go through and just snip
Yeah.
them out. Do I have to? No, but I do.
But you can just go through and cut that stem right off.
Yeah.
You'll probably need a scissors because salvia does have pretty woody stems. So go down and cut that off with maybe a little scissors or shears.
It'll just promote more growth, and they'll kind of keep bushing out. And you can see here, we had given this a haircut, a trim. You can see 4 of them, and right here is where we had cut it, right in the middle.
You can cut them back. We're heavily cutting almost all of our salvia crop back right now. Like, we're just going through because they're growing so fast
They
and
are.
they're getting just out of hand
I
in the
think
greenhouses.
next year I'm gonna bring them in later.
We could bring them.
Yeah.
They grow so fast. So in the greenhouses, we're
Well,
trying to manage them
When
right
you
now.
get them at home, I wouldn't cut them back. I
Just
would
let 'em be.
just let them
Yeah,
go.
but they
Let
might-
us do it as growers.
They might have a haircut before you get it from us.
Yeah.
Because we're just trying to manage because they're just like, boom. The next week they're like almost 2 feet tall. So we got to go through, cut them. And I was telling Jane, she was tasked with going through and cutting them down, and she was asking like, just cut them way back, because you're gonna come back in 3 days and they're gonna like, boom, they're back.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
Give them space when you're using them in a planter, because if you don't give them space, they're going to crowd out whatever's down below them.
Yeah,
and
they're pretty vigorous.
they are. And so don't waste a lot of money for, directly right next to them, because they will be more aggressive.
Yeah. You can fertilize once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. That's going to keep them looking great. Give them that growth, keep that foliage nice and green. It's getting the nutrients, and then the nutrients transfers into growing those flowers and spitting out those flowers. That's what you want. You want those plants to be flowering and looking nice. So about once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer.
And expect there to be lots of activity around them. So if you are somebody that is allergic to bees, maybe don't put it by your front door, because you will have a flurry. And they don't kind of swarm it, but there's a lot of activity on it, and it's so much fun. I always take videos of these because I love that activity. Don't you love going out in the garden and just seeing, like, I don't want bugs, but I want like bumblebees and butterflies, and I just love seeing that.
And you know what I can say, as far as some people are like, they don't want any bees around at all. Well, you better not have flowers. And I can say, in the greenhouses with hundreds of thousands of flowers, I've never been stung once. Not once in 20 years.
Samantha would always find the bumblebees and stick them all over her hands and walk around with bumblebees everywhere, because she just kind of take them gently off of a plant. And
put a salvia like this and it just has a flurry of activity on it. They're gonna leave you alone if you leave them alone. And even when I come through and I'm watering, I'm not watering on them. I'm watering down by the base.
Does it matter? You brought this up.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you get water or fertilizer on the leaves?
No, it doesn't. Yeah. I'm trying to water down by the soil, but does it matter if it gets on the leaves? No. But like I just said, there is a flurry of activity here. So I'm just leaving the bees alone. I'm just watering down here. They leave me alone. They don't care. They know that I'm coming through and caring for their plants. So I've never been stung.
It's funny with the hummingbirds, once they start coming. We'll start getting the hummingbirds in our area around May-ish, right?
Yeah. We're far north. So.
We are, but it's around May. Like the beginning part of May, you'll start seeing one or two.
And they're skinny.
Yeah, and by the end of the season, they know you, and they'll just kind of, like I should put little like hummingbird feeders off your head.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'll be watering, and they're like, bzz, and I wonder, like, are they just not afraid of me, or they know that I'm too slow, or they're way too fast? Like if I went to swat at them for whatever reason, that they would be like. Phew. So I think they just like, he's not that fast.
So, talking about fertilizer, we have retailers to announce.
Yep. So two new Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer retailers. Brightside Flowers in Hines, Oregon. They are one of our new retailers, and also Design Acres in Ripon, Wisconsin.
So one in Wisconsin, one in Oregon.
Yep. Brightside Flowers, Hines, Oregon, and Design Acres in Ripon, Wisconsin.
And if you are not near either one of those, please go on the Beat Your Neighbor website. As we always say, check out that retailer map. We are adding new ones every single day.
Yes.
It's great. And we'll be announcing new ones in that we have coming up. We have a whole chart of when to announce everybody. So
yeah, we've got to kind of chart it out, and we had to go to later on, we had to go to 3 a day because we're adding so many.
Because we want to get everybody in, like, in the spring season, because that's when, everybody's shopping for it.
Yeah.
And if you can't find a retailer near you on that map, go ahead and check that map out first, because we really want you to walk in their store, say hello, tell them that, we sent you. And if you can't, then we can ship to 48 states, and you can check that out online.
Absolutely. So today we've got kiddos coming in.
That's why we're a little early doing this.
Yeah, we've got the kindergarten class from Crivets.
Talking about hummingbirds and
yeah. So we got the little kiddos coming in. So that's been a yearly thing since my older brother Michael was in kindergarten. His was the first class that my mom and dad had come to the greenhouses, and I'm gonna say that was,
A long time ago.
well, I'm trying to think of what year that would have been if he would have been like 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old. So like 77, 78, somewhere in there.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long tradition.
The kindergarten class come in every single year since, I would say, just since the late 70s.
Right.
And then our kids,
That was our daughter's class. Was our first class to come in.
was my first class then of having
them come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
With
it's
the
like,
same teacher.
Yeah, it's like I've done this. My brother has done this. And so our daughter Samantha was, with mom and dad, we were now the ones having them come in. So it's been a long tradition. So
It has. We really enjoy them. They learn a lot while they're here. They ask a lot of questions, and that's awesome. And if we can spark just a little tiny interest and have them, learn that seeds grow and that they can grow their own food, or they can have the enjoyment of growing a plant, we call that a win. Because they are
young.
like little hummingbirds.
They're pretty
and
young.
they get very distracted very quickly.
Because they're what, 5, 6 years old, or
Yeah.
So yeah. We're not going to go into photosynthesis, or no, we're going to keep it pretty light. Here's some flowers.
Well, we talk about the sun and how we do it.
Show a little bit.
And they're
behind the
learning
scenes.
about that in school.
Yeah.
And but it is a lot of fun, and it's the questions that come out of like do you have a question? And they're like totally random, maybe not even about plants.
Yeah, I've had that. It's like, I don't ask, does anyone have any questions? It's like, my brother Billy pooped the tub. Like, okay,
Oh, you had to bring that up.
okay, that's not a question, that's a comment. So
we're
no.
looking forward to them. So they're going to be coming in. It's a pretty quick walk through, talk a little bit, and then off they go back.
It's
to
a
school.
big class. I mean,
It is.
We don't
For our
area, but you fit 60, 50. Some classes are pretty big, but it's hard to squeeze that many little kids all at once into the narrow aisles of the greenhouses.
and wrangle them.
Yeah. It's you're just kind of managing. So, all right. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.